Hi everyone, today I'll tell you about oily skincare routine. First, we'll discuss why the skin gets oily, what are the things that you should do, what are some things that you should avoid, and also what face wash, moisturizer, serum, and sunscreen to use if you have oily skin. So, if you are somebody with oily skin, you'll find this video very helpful. Let's get started. So, why does skin get oily? First, it is because of sebaceous gland activity. So, there can be two things. There are more number of glands, and also the size of the glands are larger, leading to more oil secretion. There is also genetic predisposition. So if your parents have oily skin, you are also more likely to have oily skin. And there are certain changes that occurs in your skin that makes your skin more prone to develop more oil. Third is hormonal influence. A lot of people feel that they have normal skin during the whole cycle, but just before periods, the skin tends to get oily, or after 20 to 21 days of the period cycle, it gets oily. So, this is due to hormonal influences that occur on the skin. Then there are climate changes that also influence your oiliness of the skin. Some people feel that in summer and during monsoon, the skin gets excessively oily, while in winter, it is normal. Also, there is an influence of diet. If you're taking a lot of sugary food, lot of milk, that tends to exacerbate more oil production and can make your skin look more oily and also become acne prone. So if you are somebody with very oily acne prone skin, we do suggest that you cut down on milk and sugar in order to reduce the oiliness. What is the best thing about having oily skin? That you age slower. Yes, the process of aging is slower in people with oily skin as compared to dry skin. So be happy that you have oily skin. I know in the teenage years it can be really troublesome, but as you grow old, you tend to look younger as compared to dry skin counterparts. Now I'll tell you what are the things that you should do if you have oily skin. First is choose your cleanser correctly. You have to choose the right cleanser. That will take you a long way. People with oily skin should have a good cleanser by their side, which will help in reducing oiliness, reducing the dead skin buildup on the skin, which makes your skin appear fresh. Second is to keep your scalp clean. Yes, when you have oily skin, you can have oily scalp as well, though you may have dry hair, okay? But oily scalp needs to be washed regularly because the oil that your scalp forms tends to trickle down on the sides of the face, and that tends to give acne on the forehead and the sides of the face. So keeping your scalp clean is very important. Treat dandruff. People with oily skin also tend to have dandruff on the scalp, and this tends to worsen acne, and also sometimes when it is very untreated and severe can lead to hair fall. So you want to make sure to treat dandruff. I have a video on treatment of dandruff. Do check it out. Then change pillow cover every 2 to 3 days. Yes, all the oil from your skin comes on the pillow cover, and that tends to aggravate your acne and can make your skin more oily. So you want to make sure that you use clean pillow covers and change pillow covers every 2 to 3 days. Keep a separate towel for face. Don't use the same towel that you use to wipe the body on the face, because sometimes oily skin is more acne prone and that tends to harbor bacteria. So you don't want that bacteria to be transferred from one place to the other, okay? And also it's always a good practice to keep your body towel and face towels separate. Face towels need to be washed every 1 or 2 days, whereas body towels, you can dry it and use it for 2 washes or 3 washes if you don't have fungal infection or other issues. But face towels have to be kept clean, so use a separate one which is very soft and which is a microfiber towel which does not irritate your skin. This is important. You don't want to use any harsh towels that tends to abrade the skin and leads to more redness and irritation. Keep blotting paper handy. You can just blot the excess oil off, especially throughout the day when you feel that your skin is looking too oily and you don't have access to water. You cannot wash your face again and again, which you should not. So keeping blotting paper handy is important, does help in controlling excess oil. And you can use a clay mask. Clay masks such as multani mitti or bentonite clay can help in controlling excess oil, especially if you are somebody who wants to go to an event or you have parties to attend. Then using the clay mask can help in reducing the excess oiliness on the skin, makes your open pores less prominent, and helps in improving the skin texture. So that is something that you can do if you have oily skin. Now, things that you should avoid. First is overwashing. I know it's very tempting to wash your face multiple times in the day in order to control oil because you feel that your skin looks fresh or better when it's washed, especially for the first hour after being washed. But we don't want to excessively strip the skin of its natural oils. So overwashing is an absolute no-no. You don't need to use a face wash more than twice in a day. So what if you work out? So if you are somebody who works out, you can wash your face with water in the morning, and after you finish your workout, come back and do your face wash and then wash at night. Okay, so that is how you can titrate it. And also, if you are somebody who goes to the school and you feel that, oh, as soon as I come back, then my face is too dirty, there's all dust on the skin, then what you can do is use a face wash once you are back from school, and then before you sleep at night, you can just wash your face with plain water. So basically, don't use a face wash more than twice in a day even if you have oily skin, to reduce the chances of excessively drying your skin out. Second is using alcohol-based toners. I know alcohol-based toners can feel really nice on the skin when you have oily skin because you feel that it just makes your skin fresh, it reduces open pores, it controls oil, your skin doesn't look shiny, but in turn it tends to irritate the skin and that can produce more oil. So please stay away from alcohol-based toners, though it can give a soothing effect or kind of a, something evaporating on the skin makes you feel like it's working, but stay away from alcohol-based toners even if you have oily skin. Frequently touching your skin. This is something you should absolutely avoid. Especially people with acne tend to scratch their acne or pop the acne, or feel like scratching the skin, especially when they have whiteheads, blackheads, they feel like just keep touching their skin. Please don't do that. You're just transferring bacteria from your nails into the skin, from the skin into the nails, and the cycle just goes on. So you don't want to touch your skin. Keep your hair away from your face and avoid touching your skin too often. Overdoing skincare. Yes, it might feel that you are just away from one skincare product that can give you perfect skin, that will not make your skin oily. But no, you need to be very careful whenever you're choosing skincare products for oily skin, because it is also acne prone. It can push your skin to develop multiple acne, which is what we don't want. Okay, so don't overdo skincare. Keep your skincare very simple, minimal, and use only products that you require that help in reducing your oil secretion. Layering too many products. This is the same as the previous point, using too many products and also layering too many products. You don't want to layer 2-3 different types of serums, then moisturizer, then essence, toner, sunscreens. You don't need all of that. You need a very, very simple routine which consists of just a cleanser, serum, and a moisturizer at night, and in the morning just use a cleanser, serum, and a sunscreen. That's it. That's all you need to do for a morning and night times routine in order to have good skin. So keep your skincare very simple and very minimal. Harsh scrubs, particles, gritty material which tends to irritate the skin, even though it reduces oiliness for some time, it's not very beneficial in the long run. So stay away from harsh scrubs and gritty scrubs. Gritty masks. There are a lot of these masks available which has these microgranules which tends to extract oil from the skin, as they say, but stay away from them because that can also really irritate and dry your skin out. Few things in your diet that you need to avoid. Avoid sugar, avoid milk, and avoid junk food and processed food. Okay, all these tend to exacerbate the oil production, exacerbate acne, and you don't want to take any of this because these are not very healthy for your body. Okay, so I would say milk products you can still take in moderation, but straight up milk avoid, especially if you have very oily and acne prone skin and when you have active acne. Avoiding milk can really help in reducing the inflammation and taking care of your acne quicker. So processed food, as we know, junk food, processed food is very low on nutrients and they don't do much. They also have a lot of salt content and are also not healthy, sometimes can be very oily, so please stay away. So products to use for oily skin. I have always believed that I need to empower people to make the correct decisions because, see, brands are going to change, the product names are going to change, but the knowledge that you have is going to remain forever. So I'm going to tell you what all ingredients to look for in your face washes, in your serums, moisturizers, and sunscreens if you have oily skin. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you the recommendations. So I'll be putting timestamp and you can skip to it if you want. So what face wash to use? If you have oily acne prone skin, go for salicylic acid. If you have oily skin only, then use either glycolic acid or salicylic acid. If you have oily sensitive skin, then use mandelic acid based face washes. What serums to use? You'd have to look for serums which helps in reducing oil and also reduces acne and inflammation from the skin. You don't want to dry your skin out excessively, but kind of calm and soothe the skin so that it does not produce too much of oil. So ingredients you should look for are salicylic acid, niacinamide, glycolic acid, zinc PCA, and green tea extracts. So these serums can be used once or twice in a day depending upon your activity and also your skin type. Remember that if you have excessive sun exposure in the morning, then stay away from glycolic acid and salicylic acid based products in the morning. So use any kind of harsh acids or anything, a strong active at night. It's always better tolerated. In the morning, you can stick to maybe some niacinamide and green tea extract to kind of calm and soothe the skin and also reduce oiliness if you have a lot of sun exposure. Otherwise, if you're mostly indoors, and you can use a mild salicylic acid in the morning and use the same one at night, or use a retinoid at night, or use a glycolic acid at night, depending upon your skin requirements. Moisturizers. What type of moisturizer should you use? You should use a light gel-based moisturizer which forms a thin layer on the skin, nothing too creamy, nothing too thick that tends to occlude the skin. So you should look for ingredients which are emollients and humectants rather than occlusives, okay? Should stay away from occlusives as that tends to exacerbate acne and makes your skin more oily. So look for ingredients which have humectant properties and emollient properties that tends to moisturize the skin for a longer time. So the ingredients you should look for are glycerine, hyaluronic acid, ceramide, niacinamide, and panthenol, which helps in soothing the skin, moisturizing the skin without making your skin feel too oily or sticky. Sunscreens. What sunscreen should you use? You should use a gel-based sunscreen, nothing too creamy or oily on the skin. So go for a gel-based oil-free sunscreen. I prefer to prescribe hybrid sunscreens for most of my patients, or a pure chemical sunscreen. If you are somebody with very oily skin, you will enjoy using a chemical sunscreen because they have a gel formulation, because something which is pure mineral is usually in a slightly paste kind of a formulation, though it tends to reduce oiliness, but it leaves behind a white cast which you will not enjoy, okay? So go for a hybrid sunscreen or a chemical sunscreen which you will like and which will feel nicer on the skin. If you are somebody who has very oily skin with active acne, then you can avoid sunscreen till your acne is controlled. Yes, there are very few conditions in which we ask you to avoid sunscreen, and this is one. If you have active acne, don't use a sunscreen. Let the acne settle a bit and then start using a sunscreen. Because when you have acne, you are already using some actives, some moisturizers to calm and soothe the skin down. So we don't want to layer too many products, okay? So for some time till the acne settles, you can skip a sunscreen and then get back on it once the acne calms down. So what SPF to use? If you are mostly indoors, then SPF of 30 is adequate. If you are outdoors, that is if you have sun exposure of 20 minutes or more, then use SPF 50. If you are somebody who gets tan very easily or have stubborn dark spots, you suffer from melasma, acne dark spots, then you must use SPF 50. So how do you form a routine? In the morning, you're going to use a face wash, a serum, and a sunscreen. And at night, you're going to wash your face again and use a serum and moisturizer. And that's it. That's all you need for good, healthy skin. And like I said, the recommendations are going to be here. These are my recommendations for face wash. These are my recommendations for serums. These are my recommendations for moisturizers. And these are my recommendations for sunscreen. So using all these products, you can make a very simple skincare routine that you can follow in the morning and night. I hope you found this video useful. If you liked the skin and hair related content, do follow me on my Instagram handle, Dr. Aanchal MD, where I post skin and hair related content daily. I also have a podcast now called Decoding Health with Dr. Aanchal. Please do watch the podcast episodes where I take deep dive into skincare and health. Thank you for watching.